even while we were trying to achieve things for our life, some things that we think are not working are actually working. It may be working. It's just that it's not that time when they should, manifest. I see people, and probably even myself, sometimes thinking we're not doing enough. And that's why we've not achieved our goal. Sometimes we think we just haven't done enough. That's why those goals are not achieved. Or that's why we've not moved ahead. That's why we've not become somebody. That's why we've not become something. And sometimes it's not really about the effort. It's about a combination of factors. So we're going to be dealing with all this today. And I will say welcome. Let's get today started. Today's topic is crossing the gate. Last month, we saw the gate open. In December last year, 2025, we saw that gate opening. And we said we're going to walk through that gate into the new year 2026. But also, now that the gate has opened to a lot of people, some people have not entered that gate, that mental gate of stepping into the new year. Some people are still dwelling in 2025. Some people are waiting for the budget of countries to be read. Some are waiting for the implementation. Some people are waiting for their raises, waiting for their bosses to call them about 5 days. Some are waiting for the next month's salary because they finished up with salary last month. A lot of people are waiting for the dream time, a dream event, something that would bring them to realize that, yeah, it's a new year. And then they get up again and begin to move. But I'm sorry to tell you that the gate alone, people are entering that gate. You better sit up now. So this Saturday, we're looking at crossing the gate, turning intentions into consistent action. Of course, from that topic, you realize that we're going to be talking about actions being consistent. Consistency is whereby you can expect something happening intermittent at an assured rhythm. Just like you expect the Big Ben to sound at every hour. You expect the cock to crow at every hour. You expect your grandfather clock to cuckoo at every hour. The same way, consistency says you can expect yourself to do certain things within a particular time set. So you'll be wondering, so why consistency in the new year? What am I consistent about? I'm trying to achieve great things. I want to become a better person. I want to become stronger, better at emotional intelligence. I want to be able to have a better relationship with my partner. I want to build a house. I want to build a conglomerate business. I want to expand my tent. I want to go with the mantra of my belief, of my religion for the year, the set target of my foundation. I want to expand. I want to be a year of divine increase, a year of divine worth and value. So what has consistency got to do with that? We look at that together. Welcome to the program once again. So let's look together. I'm genuinely glad you're here. Okay, and I mean this with all my heart. I'm genuinely glad you're here because I figured out over time that people run around a lot of noise. They're looking for solutions, for our challenges and our problems. Unfortunately, most of the time, what we need to start any journey of transformation is usually not far. It's usually around us. An illustration of the person, it's a mentor, it's a coach, it's an idea. That's all around us. Agitation, that's all around us. And we sometimes don't see it. So we run from pillar to post, looking for the same answer that's right there, staring us in the face. So for you to be here, I'm guessing you're thinking there's something you can benefit from it. And if you would give me less than 60 minutes of your time, probably 45, 50 minutes of your time, today you're going to get just that. I want you to take cognizance of everything I'm saying. Stay on my words, hold on to my words, and listen attentively. Make notes and practice the simple things I'm going to teach you today. I mean, these are simple stuff, and we're going to cover ground. Today is not just another January session. It's not just me trying to fill the gap, not trying to force you to make a new resolution or teach you how to set goals today. In fact, today, there's no time for that. Today it's about something more serious. It's about you being able to get things done. So what we're doing today is more intentional than just setting goals as well. This session is called Crossing the Gate. All right? Crossing the gate. Because it represents a moment of movement, a decision point, a shift from thinking to acting, from planning to execution. And if you stay present through this session, you will leave with something practical you can use immediately. Like I said, it's going to be helpful to you. Not next month, not something you need to use it, but not when you are ready. No. What I'm going to teach you today, I'm going to offer you are things that you need to do now. Many people start a new year, they plan, they look forward to it. After the parties and enjoyment, they look forward to it, but very few actually step into that new year. They started, yes, but not everybody steps into it. All right, they step into January emotionally, but not structurally. What I mean is their mind is in January, the emotions are there. They think they are crossing that point, but in their mind they are trying to do it. Physically, they are not doing that. They don't have structure. They don't have a plan to go through that new year and to go through it better than last year. They are still at the mercy of things that happen around. And that is not what we want for you this year. Structure is what changes life. Structure is what changes life. We need to have that structure. And that structure is what we are going to create with you today. So here's the honest truth. Many people start the year with excitement. Probably you're excited to study. I haven't decided to study. And plans are written, intentions are clear, But within a few weeks, the energy fades off again. Not because people are lazy, not because they lack ambition. I know you have ambition. In fact, some people have very great ambition, very large, bigger than life ambition. In fact, most people I've met recently are over ambitious. You can almost say they're over ambitious. And you could tell, if I tell you ambition, you might think I'm over ambitious too. Because I want to have this big dream come to pass. I want to be everywhere. I want to have people change, lives change. I want to have a way of financially helping the needy to understand money, and how to save money, how to make money, how to multiply. But you see, when intention alone is all we have, then we notice there's a stall in achieving that ambition. Because intention alone can't carry action. It doesn't carry action. And tonight, we're addressing that gap between what ambitions we have, our intentions, and then, of course, action. We're checking that gap today. So here is the guiding question for today's session. How do I stop planning and actually start moving? Not just moving, but moving consistent. How can I stop planning? I plan. I've done some planning before. Even if I don't have 100% of my plan, can I start with what I have? How can I stop making more plans and start moving consistently? Why I can work on my plan going. And I'm not saying this because I want to break the rules and the laws of setting goals and achieving them. No. In fact, one of the great leaders of teaching, motivation, teaching, planning, and achieving stuff, everyone agrees to the simplicity of what you need to start. It's simply to make a list of what you know how to do, but make a list also of what you want to achieve. Put them into a hierarchy. Which one of them, if you achieved it today, would make a whole lot of difference. Once you know which one is, take that, write on the stop paper as your edit, and write the steps you need to take to answer to that. Now, not everybody that's wise and smart all the time, but you can tell some steps you need to take. If you don't know what to do after that, you can talk to someone like me. You can talk to someone that knows a bit better, who will guide you and break it further into other steps. But if you can't do it yourself, take those steps you've broken them and simply act on one every day. That's the simplicity of all that we teach about goal setting and achievements, and making things change. It's really about the steps, those little steps. So how do you start moving consistently? Not once, not for a week, but in a way that lasts. That's the question today. Everything we'll cover today is designed to answer that very question. Now, let's look at this myth called motivation. It's a myth now because motivation over the years has been seen as the thing that we really need to make everything happen. You're motivated to achieve things. And the great warriors have been said to be motivated to overcome their enemies, to go in battle and face things fearlessly, courageously. So sometimes we think, I come to tell you, motivation is all you need. Because you see, motivation could be sometimes just the opposite of it. The popular belief about motivation, that is all you need. Motivation is not reliable in long terms. It's like somebody who's a sprinter. You see the sprinters run very fast. On a short distance, they run very fast over a short distance. That's why they sense a sprint. Usually on the longer distances, they can't survive. They can't cope because for the longest, all you need stamina, you need strength, you need ability, you need to be lean. You see the marathoners, they're usually lean muscles, lean meat machines, compared to the bulky guys who are strong, the strongest men. Most of them can't run a marathon. All right, because the requirements are different. Now, are you sprinting or are you going far? If you're sprinting, the motivation will help. But if you're going farther, then you need that motivation. Motivation would not be reliable for you. You can look at my slide and playing that over and over deliberate. You see that flame burning and flickering, and then suddenly it's off. That's not motivation. It goes flickering sometimes after a short time. But if you can fuel that flame effectively, then that energy can continue. So motivation feels powerful. Yes, it excites us. It creates momentum, temporary. But motivation is emotion, and emotions fluctuate, right? So today you're happy, tomorrow you're happy. That's why many January goals collapse before February. And even some February goals that survive February, they match out when it's March. They match away with March because it's not easy. You can't build a new life on unstable fuel. That's the truth. You can't build a new life on unstable fuel. You got to stabilize. You got to have what it takes, the core. If you remember nothing else from today, remember this. You cannot build a new life on unstable fuel. Motivation burns fast. Structure sustains progress. Structure sustains progress. And this brings us to a critical reflection, because we need that structure. Now, look at this. Consistency is not personality. I've seen people tell me, oh, it's not my personality. I'm not just cut out for that. I don't believe anyone was cut out for it. I believe we have innate gifts, or innate abilities. I believe we have gifts from God. We have skills that are easier for some of us to quickly, own and sharpen, because they are the gifts that we have. I believe that. But also, we need to acquire, and we need to improve on the skills. We need to acquire new something. And consistency is not one of those things that you can say, oh, I'm born with it, I'm so consistent. No. Consistency is not personality based. It's not based on how you feel today or how you don't feel tomorrow. Consistency, rather, is system based. Consistency is system based. That is, you can make it. You can make it happen for you. You don't need to be born with it. You can learn it. You can create a system that's going to help you become more consistent. People who are consistent are not more disciplined by nature. No, they are not. It's not natural for them either to be disciplined. The system they operate simply helps them within that way to operate better, to simply operate within better systems. That's why they seem to people to be very disciplined. No, they're not. Everybody has something they don't like doing. Everybody has something they don't like doing. But somebody else may love doing that thing more. That's why we have passion. But it doesn't mean that you are more disciplined at something. No, it's because you have a system that operates. They simply operate within better systems. Those are the people that you say are consistent. So you can also be consistent. And you see, systems removes pressure from the brain. Once you have a system in place, your brain doesn't need to guess what else to do. It's like women who are married, kids, and they wake up in the morning and they're like on clock, and they know where to do this and that and that and that. And they know how to boil eggs, doing bread, doing sandwich, they're packing it, they're calling to triangles, they're packing this person's bread. And you're like watching them, they're like computers, like robots. Because they've created a system. Imagine you waking up on a morning, you're going to work, and because you want to do that and look your best, you wake up, you're waking up early, you take a bath, your prayers ready, and then you said, oh, should I wear a white shirt on a blue pant, or a white shirt on an orange pant, or a white shirt on a brown pant? Should it be should it be carton? And then after you decide on that, for 15 minutes, you ask yourself, should it be suede? Should it be cotton? Should it be after you decide on that, 15 minutes, you say, okay, fine. Now I'm wearing a white shirt on my orange pants. I finally decided. Now, what kind of shoe should I wear? Should it be sneakers? Should it be joggers? Should it be loafers? Should it be slippers? Should it be leather shoes? 15 minutes, you decided on the shoe, and you say, should I wear socks or not? No, okay. So you pick the socks, and then you start asking, what kind of next scarf should I go with this? And then you debate on that for about 10 minutes, and now you say, should I wear a face cap? After you decide on that, what kind of clothes should I wear? You're going to be late for work. You know why? Because there was no system. But imagine if on Sunday you already pick the clothes you're going to wear, the shoes, the socks, everything. You take a time on Sunday to plan. On Monday morning, what you make out, get everything ready, and you more or less slide like a magic performance into those clothes, and you're ready to go. That's what system does. It removes the need for the brain to begin to look for options. So it removes pressure. from your brain. When it comes to also achieving your goals, achieving great things that you have planned for the year, you want to reduce the option for your brain. You want to more or less do the work, pre-work, so that your brain can go along with that system and it helps with consistency. Now, let's see why people don't. Here's what really happens when people don't act. When goals are vague, the brain becomes the same thing that wants to avoid those goals. When your goals are vague, and what do I mean by vague? Remember, I taught some people here, SMART goals. The acronym SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. When your goals don't fit into that acronym, it doesn't answer those 5 questions. Is it smart? Is it measurable? Is it achievable? Is it realistic? The goal becomes vague, and your brain doesn't love vague things. Your brain is made to focus on things, not to even stop too much sometimes, but to pick a thing to work with. That's why we always tell people, avoid multitasking. You can time it, but avoid multitasking. Personally, you're what is going to be baby? Can you say multitasking is not good? You can call me up, you can chat me up, take it up some other time, right? But I tell you, you can time block, avoid it, because your brain. Now, when goals are vague, your brain tries to avoid the goals, right? So when you have goals that, all right, let's pick a goal, for example. If someone sets a goal that's too big, right, the brain also panics. That's what happens next. Your goals are vague, the brain will avoid it. If your goals are too big or feel too big, how do you go by? So when you set the kind of goal like that, your brain panics. You see, when panic sets in, procrastination follows. The brain doesn't want to shut down totally. So it says, you know what? I love this big goal you've set, this vague goal you have set. You are 115 kilograms right now, and you want to become 30 kilograms in 3 months. Brain says, oh, what a wonderful one. We'll imagine how we look together. Yeah, I love it. But guess what? We'll start it tomorrow. Let's eat this pie today. Let's eat this chocolate cake. Let's solve the problem of this mountain of pounded yam, vegetable with cow leg, or rich. Let's solve it first. Let's eat this wonderful pizza, with cheese. Let's solve that first. Because you see, that goal of losing well over 70 kilograms in 3 months, we'll come back to it tomorrow. You begin to procrastinate. Your brain panics and then procrastination. Now, this is laziness, right? It's how the brain protects itself from overwhelm and from overload. The brain will protect itself. And then you find yourself rolling around and then you start blaming yourself. Lazy. You are lazy. You just approach consistency. All right. Now, what's the big problem? So the real issue is not lack of dreams. We have big dreams. Like I said, some of us have dreams that are so big, they are big for Africa. I'm just saying, we don't have dreams. People don't fail because they lack ambition. Like I said, a lot of people are almost over ambitious. They fail because they lack structure. And without structure, overwhelm takes over. You don't want to go that. This is what you want to do. Here's the shift that changes everything. Stop thinking yet. Right? I said it that I was going to give you very simple stuff. I hope you're picking it right now. It's one of the simple stuff I'm thinking. Stop thinking yet. Yeah, you heard me right. Yeah. Okay. I can hear your thoughts, right? Why shouldn't I think yet? It's a yearly goal. It's a yearly plan. I do my birthday here. Why don't I think yearly? I'm telling you, stop thinking yearly, because you see, thinking yearly makes your brain think there's a lot of time to spend in achieving what we achieve. And there's a law that states that we will take as long as the time we have got for something to be done. Whenever you tell yourself, I have 2 days to get something, you will most probably take 2 days or 2.5 days. It's a law. It's always working. When you were in school and you were given an assignment, and your lecturer and your teacher said, you have 2 weeks to submit this assignment. When did you submit it? Was it a week after? Was it on the 13th day or the 14th day? Or did you come back and ask for extra 2 days to get it? Sometimes we ask for extra 2 weeks to get some things done. Not because we couldn't get it, but sometimes you start working on that very thing, 2 days to submission, finish, and you get a good grade, you get an A. But we create so much force from the first day, trying to plan for it, trying to think of a new idea, trying to create and recreate and draft and draw and ask questions and research and go to library, only for us to start it 3 hours to submission. It's a law. So Stop thinking yet, right? Start operating on a weekly basis. Start operating weekly. Why weekly? The week is more or less like the sweet point between running on minutes, which you know it's not going to be advisable for you to be running on minutes, right? Working, checking what you're doing every minute. That's going to be a time waste. In fact, every hour is going to be time consuming. Every day will be a bit cumbersome, but weekly is a good spot. So think weekly. Most people you see lose momentum because their goals live too far in the future. If your goal is to become the owner of a conglomerate of industries all over the world, that might take 50 years to do. If you're looking at a goal of 50 years, you probably will lose the momentum. 50 years is a long time. The problem is this. Let's assume this is where you are, and this is where you're. The closer these 2 points are to each other, the easier it is to imagine how to get there. The easier it is to implement getting there. The easier it is also to more or less weather the storms. No matter the difficulty you meet on the way, because it's not far, you can see the goal, you can almost touch it. You tend to keep holding on till you get here. Now, the farther the goal is, just like you're watching me, at a point you probably will see my other hand, right? Because the goal is now out of the picture. What happens to here, where you are? You tend not to see the finishing, and then you get a bit confused. So when problems come, when challenges come, when people question you, when life questions, you tend to ask yourself, am I sure that goal is still there? Or should I find another thing to do? So for most people, they lose momentum because their goals live too far in the future. When you bring the goal down to a weekly thing, it's easier to see. Progress is built weekly. Even though the goal might be far away, the progress is built weekly. The week is easier for you to manage. Another secret thing I'm bringing to you to help you achieve this great thing you have in your mind, right? It's called the action rhythm framework. This is what we built to make it just for you. The action rhythm framework. This is the core system I want you to take away to, right? The weekly action rhythm is the core system I want to take away to. It has 3 parts. 1 weekly priority, 3 supporting actions, and 1 review. 3 parts. 1 weekly priority, 3 supporting actions, and 1 review moment. That's it. I told you it's going to be simple. Coach BB doesn't stress you. No, I won't stress you because I want to make things easier. Just like you, I don't want it complicated. I've had to go to complications and complex things so that you don't have to go through them. The framework reduces mental load and creates clarity. It takes away the mental and brings clarity. Now, why does it? Because it simplifies decision making. Remember the person that woke up and was trying to decide what to wear to work. This is what the framework does. It simplifies decision making. It reduces pressure. It creates visible progress. That is what you will, because progress builds confidence. Progress builds confidence. Starting small is not a bad thing because now you're, could you be saying I should have started planning weekly? I've been planning yearly. I don't even have my goals. You just told me my goals are vague. So where do I start from? Oh, I can't start. No, you can't start. You can start again. You can start small. In fact, you can start now because we are redefining starting. Many people avoid starting because they think small steps are insignificant. In fact, I've seen some people achieve much more so with just a broken sellotape phone because they realize they could start small. One of the wonderful teachers I do see says, start from where you are. Start from where you are. It's a life-changing truth if you can catch it. Start small and start from where you are. It's liberating. These are the kind of truths I want us to learn this year. Because you see, while preparing for this webinar, and I was meditating things, points, truths we're going to share, I realized that one of the reasons why we find it difficult to progress as people, people that dream, is that we usually think people need to validate us, right? We think that we're not doing enough, we're not doing well, and then we need people to validate. We're watching out for people, thinking they are thinking about us. We are not good enough. We're not going to come to the market. We're not good enough. I'm not going to change our jobs. We're not good enough. I'm not going to move my location. I'm not good enough. I can't survive outside so country. I can survive in Africa. I can survive in Europe. I can survive in Asia. I can survive. We're just thinking about people that people think I'm not good. I'm not good enough for this. I'm not good enough for that. Whereas those people that you're thinking about, they don't even have time to think about you. No, they are thinking that they should try and impress you. They think you know better. They think you have it better, and they are trying to impress you as well. Yeah, take it from me. The validation you're looking for is also being sought after by those you are going to. Honestly, stop avoiding starting anyway. Don't bother. Wherever you find yourself, own it. Stop blaming yourself. Stop thinking I was not good enough, that's why I lost my job. I was not good enough, that's why I didn't win that. I was not good enough, that's why. No. Check if there's something missing, something not done well. Fine. Skill. Train yourself. Find someone that knows how to do it better than you. Collaborate. Get a better start. But don't think that was just the reason why you achieved. Just start from where you are. The reason you are far better than anyone else because you attempted. Billion other people never attempted. If you attempt it again, you probably won't get it done. And then everybody will celebrate. So stop avoiding to start. Don't think what you have is too small. Don't think you need to wait for when the weather is totally clear. I was going somewhere, please leave. And my family said they won't go because I was like, then I realized it doesn't matter. Get in that and get the job done. I can get into that rain and get the job done. It's not too heavy. Why can't I do it? So I got it and I made it. Come on, I made it up. It wasn't that bad. You know, not everything is going to fall in place before you start. You start and let them fall in place and fall. All right, I'm somebody's getting something. Men will avoid starting because they think small steps are insignificant, but they are not. Starting small is not a weakness. It is not a weakness at all. It is actually strategy. Growing something and dedicating makes it easier for you. You spend less energy starting because it's small. You have more time to learn, all right? Because small actions build identity. Small actions allow you to form a kind of habit, and our brains handle habits better. Small actions helps you to understand the nitty-gritty of the workings of a business, of a relationship, of a new idea, of a creation, of production. Small steps, small starts help you to see the real workings so that when it grows, you understand. Small actions build up. You want to start small. All right, let's identify the shift we need to make. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, every time you keep a promise you made, your brain begins to trust you. When you promise yourself you're going to wake up, your brain knows that. Because you know we're going to work. Then your brain knows you're not going to bed. Then your brain knows you're not eating your breakfast. Then your brain knows you're not stop eating 4 times a day. Your brain knows you're not stop drinking that. Your brain knows you're not stop taking sugar. Your brain knows you exercise. He knows you don't want to. Your brain knows. So it doesn't trust you anymore. But once you keep a promise, no matter how small the promise is, your brain also notices and begins to trust. Your mind begins to lash onto your promise. When you keep a promise to yourself, so you're going to train yourself to shift that identity. All right. So confidence doesn't come from wish; it comes from evidence. Your brain needs evidence. You need to build your own confidence by starting small and being consistent at them, because consistency creates that evidence that you need. So you want to start something small, something simple, and then you want to achieve it so that your system, your mind, your brain, the essence that you carry is to see that you are truly making a change. And the force of your life to follow therein as well. Let's try this exercise. We're going to cross the gate practically now. I want you to do this. All right? Practical. So you're one. This is the third secret I'm sharing. Counting, yes. And I hope you're writing it. Maybe for some people it's 5, maybe some people it's 6. Maybe you should add some miracle moments in between. That's for you personally. Now is another moment you need to curate this. You need to write it to start. I want you to write 3 things. And don't overthink. Just be honest and be realistic. All right? I said it. Yes, I said it. Don't overthink them. Be honest and be realistic. You're going to write 3 things. Write it now. You can type it in your note if you want. But still, if you write it down on a piece of paper, that would be most effective. Right. One focus for the next 7 days, write that down. One habit you must protect for the next 7 days, and one distraction you intentionally reduce. This is where intention becomes action. Right? Our intention now is becoming action. Okay? Let's do this declaration. Let's anchor this together. Say this with me and say it slow. Say it with me and say it slow. For the next 30 days, I prioritize execution over perfection. I choose progress over delay. I act weekly. I act intentionally. And I act consistently. Say it again. For the next 30 days, I prioritize execution over perfection. I choose progress over delay. I act weekly, intentionally, and consistent. You can write it down because this is what I told. This is commitment from you. So commit to it. Write it down yourself and sign it if you can. Let me see it one more time so I can write it down. Let me see. Tell us. So I'm going to write it down. For the next 30 days, I prioritize execution over perfection. I choose progress, all right, over delay. I act weekly, 7 days, weekly, intentional and consistently. And you sign under it as your commitment. This is mine. You sign under that. Okay, so by the end of January, end of this month, just a week away, I want you to confidently say this testimony that I have finally started and I didn't stop after one. If you can say that by the end of January, I will clap for you because already you have achieved what a lot of people have not been able to achieve. Maybe you achieved it before, but now you're going to achieve it. So that would be testimony to hear from you at the end of that. That you finally started and you didn't stop after one. That statement represents something. It's far more important than just the big dream alone that you're sharing everywhere. It is the progress that you really want, the small progress, the small step, the small step that grows to become the big dream. So let me leave you with this truth. The gate is not crossed by desire. The gate of the new year, the gate of a new dispensation, the gate of a new glorious happening and transformation, the gate of overcoming fear, the gate of crossing over delay and tradition and procrastination is not crossed by desire. Yeah, it's crossed by action. It's not crossed only by prayer. It's not crossed only by desires. It's not crossed only by imagination. It's not crossed only by thinking. It's crossed by action. Action that's taken consistently. I close it. Let today spur you into action. 7 days, weekly. Think, and honor your weekly commitment because you just made that commitment. And remember, progress doesn't come from dramatic moves, right? Progress doesn't come from dramatic moves. It's not about you just acting up dramatically, trying to look for something that has effect, where everybody can see it, everybody can shout. No. If you see the opportunity, fine, take it. But for me, and you take it simple. It could be quiet. Take it. Opportunities that come, take it. Action. Small way, write it. Look for a new job. Get on the paper. Check online for you. Ask yourself, can I do better in that market? Can I go for a training? Can I do a small certificate course? Can I do an online course for 2 months? Whatever it is, make the move. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Because you're looking for a way to improve yourself and to unlock that greatness in you. I'd like to tell you that very soon we're going to start our classes, schools, and open from outside, where you can learn. Also, the one-on-one coaching is open back. So people are taking advantage of it all over the world. And of course, I have limited time because I work, so my time available will probably just be after my work as well. So schedule is tight. It's first come, first serve. If you want to reach out for you need coaching in that particular area, life coaching, things about finance, you want help to just get a straight mind and a straight head, things you want to grow your business, you want to learn positive psychology and to have a change in the way you approach the stuff and challenges you meet, you can book a session. Just send a chat to me or send a mail to make it back. The email, and send a mail. Also send me a DM on the social media handle, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. If you're in the community, you can reach out to me or reach out to the handlers of social media. They will let you know. We'll get back to you. Just reach out to the name. even on this call right now, send the chat right now, just send your name and chat to you, and we can see what will work for you. Also, if you're someone who just doesn't want to have general knowledge, we'll be opening up our training program very soon, and you can register for. Thanks for sharing. Catch you later. Bye for now.